Welcome to Shapes Etc how-to videos. Today we'll be learning how to print on Shapes Etc large and mini notepads. Okay, so the first step is you're going to want to visit our website at shapesetc.com. And once you get to our home page, you just mouse over our Downloads tab, go to Idea Sheets, and click on that, and that'll take you to our Idea Sheets page. Once you're there, you're going to want to look on the right column here in our full color list. And the one for this activity is right under our Apples category. It's Print on Shapes Notepads. So you're going to select that, and it'll pull up in a different window the idea sheet that you're going to want to download and print. You can save it to your computer, or you can just print right from your browser. So once you have that printed, I already have one printed, so I'm not going to waste more paper. You can close out of that. You're going to want to print out our Crispy Apples poem and our Apple words. These are just some samples. You can change the word processor document however you want. So to download those, they're right below the idea sheet. It's Crispy Apples and Apple words. You just select those and they're going to pull up a word processor. I'm in Microsoft Word, but if you have Pages or are just using text or Notepad, that's fine. So once you've pulled up these documents, you're ready to print. Okay, before we print, you're going to want to figure out how your printer feeds the paper through, so that once you tape the notepad on there, it's printing on top of the notepad and not the other side of the paper. So a trick that I developed for doing that is before you print out the sample sheet, just make an X on the top of your piece of paper, right in the middle. Then you tell it to print. And once this sample prints out, leave it in the tray and draw an arrow at the top so you know how it came out of the printer, so you can figure out the steps going through. So once it's out, I'm just going to leave it right there and just draw a little arrow at the top. So I can see that this basically just, I need to flip it over and rotate it 180 degrees for it to print the right way. Okay, and once you figure that out, just jot them down on like a post-it note or something, and if you're doing multiple copies. So now we're ready to go. So I have my sample sheet here. This is for our large Apple notepad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my tape, and you're going to want a good quality of tape, because if it's too sticky, it sticks to the notepad and then it'll pull off the notepad, but if it's not sticky enough, it could get jammed in your printer. So we recommend Scotch tape. It has just the right amount of stickiness, but it's not too sticky. So what you're going to want to do is hold this up to the light and align the notepad so that the text is where you want it on the sheet. Once you have it where you want it, just place a single piece of tape at the top of the notepad, and I like to do one down at the bottom too, just to make sure it's secure and doesn't shift when it's printing. So I do that right at the bottom, and now I'm ready to feed it through and print on it again. So I need to flip it 180 degrees so that the X is at the top here, and make sure it's going to catch, and then you just tell it to print again, and it prints right on top of the notepad. There it goes. And you're done. So after that, it might be a little wet at first, so you're not going to want to touch the ink until it's completely dry. But once it does dry, you can just peel it off with the tape. Our tape is just peeling that. And if you need to, you can just leave the tape on there and then just like cut around it if you're scared that that it's going to peel off the notepad. And then you're done. There's your poem on your apple.